Now, my next guest wrote the book, here it is, The Real Trump Deal, an eye-opening look at how he really negotiates. Martin Latz joins me now, he wrote that. Martin, is chaos Trump's deliberate negotiating style?
You know, that's a really interesting question, Stuart. Trump has for almost 50 years negotiated from his gut. He's an instinctive negotiator. Sometimes it's been obviously quite chaotic. Sometimes it's been fairly strategic. Some of his early deals were great deals. He negotiated the Trump Tower deal for the land with no money down. He was very clever in negotiating the purchase of Mar-a-Lago, but later on, his gut and some of the chaos that led to his negotiations were disastrous. He overpaid by millions of dollars for the Plaza Hotel. Buying the Eastern Shuttle, which became the Trump Shuttle, was one of the purchases that led to his multiple bankruptcies. So sometimes it's chaotic, sometimes it's not. And that's the problem in the negotiation field, because you really need to negotiate strategically based on the experts' proven research. There's been a lot of great research in the last 40 or 50 years. We basically now know there is a right way to negotiate and there is a wrong way to negotiate. That's the challenge.
Do you think Trump's going the wrong way to negotiate?
Well, just take a look at what's happened in the last 10 days. It has led to incredible uncertainty. And he's let his frontline negotiators, the Secretary of the Treasury, the Commerce Secretary, he's thrown them under the bus. And he really has not been consistent. So first we had the announcement, then we had the reciprocal tariffs, then we had the pause on the reciprocal tariffs, then we've got the exemption on electronics with China, and then just in the last, 24 hours, we're told that maybe in the next month or 2 months, or maybe even this week, as you reported, we may get more tariffs on that. It's really problematic when there is no credibility, no consistency. When our partners, our trading partners, we don't know if we say this is our bottom line, if it's actually our bottom line.
Well, it just keeps them guessing, doesn't it? Next one. Are we extending the tariff threat beyond just trade? For example, an argument with Mexico over water. Could tariffs be drawn into that dispute? Because that's got nothing to do with trade.
You're absolutely right. It does have nothing to do with trade, but it has everything to do with the relationship between the parties and the leverage that the United States and President Trump has as a result of the trading relationship. So yes, he already brought in fentanyl into the negotiations with Canada, even though most experts say we really don't get much fentanyl from Canada. But that is a leverage point that President Trump understands, and he's using that to try to get better deals. Part of the problem is they may get a deal on tariffs with us, and he may, come back to the table and try to use that leverage again. Again, it creates problems in terms of predictability. And in a negotiation, when you're negotiating with people with whom you want and expect a future relationship, you really need to have some level of predictability, credibility, trust, because without it, as I mentioned before, you just don't know if what they say is actually what they mean and if they're going to stick with it for more than 24 hours.
Sometimes I think unpredictability can be an advantage, and I think that's what Trump's playing. Martin Latz, very interesting stuff. Come back and see us again soon. Thank you, Martin.